On the news tonight, federal government commits to eliminate red tape to ease of doing business in Nigeria.
I urge all stakeholders, particularly the MDS, to build on the gains of the past 120 days with a sense of urgency and purpose.
Charting a climate resilient path for Nigeria's water sanitation and hygiene sector, federal government and partners develop action plan.
With only 10% having access to basic wash services and about 23% lacking access to basic water supply according to the 2021 Wash Norm report.
Also on the news, shop owners count their losses following the devastation of Thursday night fire at Cairo Market in Abuja.
And this thing got burned more than 50 million naira. And with those people that will give small loan and the rest.
Good evening and welcome to the Network News on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali, and here with me in the studio tonight is Musa Abubakar, who is standing by for business news. Remember, you can watch this news live broadcast on nta.ng/live and also on other social media handles displayed on your screen. And now we begin with appointments. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 8 new federal permanent secretaries to fill in existing and impending vacancies of some states and geopolitical zones in the top administrative cadre of the Federal Civil Service of the Federation. The new federal permanent secretaries appointed after a diligent selection process by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation includes Dr. Emanso Umobong Okop Akwa Ibom, Obi Emeka Vitalis Anambra, Mahmoud Fatima Sugra Bauchi, and Juma Mohammed Sanusi Jigawa. Others are Olusonya Olubumi Ondo, Dr. Keshiro Mariam Ismaila Zamfara, Akujobi Chinyeri Ijoma Southeast, and Isopunwu Christopher Osarwamen South. The president anticipates the new federal permanent secretaries will exercise absolute dedication, diligence, and fidelity to the nation in the discharge of their functions and ensure optimum service delivery. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has presented its 90-day regulatory reform accelerator action plan aimed at improving Nigeria's business environments. Vice President Kashim Shettima, as the event, restated commitment to deliver the dual mandate of bureaucratic and legislative constraints on ease of doing business in Nigeria. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jibrila brings us the details.
These 8 indicators are listed on here, and I will just quickly speak to them very briefly.
The target of these stakeholders is reforming Nigeria's business environment through facilitation of National Single Window Project, tracking of efficiency reforms, and delivering measurable growth in productivity, among other initiatives.
Our collective aspiration is that the reforms, along with the insights and learning from this regulatory reform accelerator, will drive measurable impact for productivity and competitiveness across key sectors to improve the Nigerian business environment and support the economic initiatives of the government.
So after the past 120 days, after a slow start, we're glad to see that indeed out of 1,187 activities across 36 agencies spanning 14 ministries, 876 of them were successfully completed. So we commend the MDAs for the hard work.
Since inception in July 2016, over 180 verifiable business reforms have been implemented through stakeholders' engagement. And the federal government is saying despite the achievements recorded, more needs to be done.
That our public sector reforms have achieved a collective score of over 80% at the beginning of the 90-day regulatory reform accelerator. The regulatory reform accelerator is an avenue to inject life into our economy and renew the hope of our nation. The quality of your ideas and the intensity of your energy today are the very sparks we need to stay on track and to always remind ourselves of the burden of expectations upon us. As we reflect on the measurable outcomes of the Regulatory Reform Accelerator, I urge all stakeholders, particularly the NDS, to build on the gains of the past 120 days with a sense of urgency and purpose.
The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council is working directly and actively with 53 ministries, departments and agencies, and what is expected is more action for greater economic outcomes. In Abuja, Abraham Jibrila, NTA News.
The federal government has assured the Congress of University Academics, CONWA, of making deliberate efforts to address its grievances. A statement from the Ministry of Labour and Employment notes that the Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Onyejocha, made the promise at a meeting with the leadership of CONWA aimed at finding solutions to the concerns of the union. The minister further assures CONWA that as a legitimate organization, government would always listen to their issues and resolve them on their merits. Now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has released the results of candidates who participated in the Supplementary Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, conducted between Friday 21st and Saturday 22nd of June 2024. The supplementary examination was conducted for some 28,835 candidates not biometrically verified in the first instance. A statement by JAMB says the other category of candidates were those suspected to have been involved in examination malpractice and given a second chance to write the examination. The statement advises candidates to desist from unwholesome acts to upgrade their results, which often backfire. Commercial activities have been grounded at Cairo markets following the fire outbreak on Thursday night. Serafina Okon-Umekwe reports that shop owners at the scene are shocked as the devastation and complete destruction of the old section of the market, as well as the loss of their properties and means of livelihood. Here is the report.
As traders continue to count their losses, the firefighters are also not relenting to putting an end to the fire in the market. These are the areas they could not have access to last night.
They locked the gate, people have been crying, begging. When the fire never reached far, we are still complaining. Open gate, let people up.
They say nobody knows where can the fire be. But they say people, they don't allow person enter the gate, enter the district.
And some of them we have supplied one to them individually, and this thing got burned more than 50 million naira.
Blames and counter-accusations on the part of the traders against AMAC, the market engineers, for contravening the master plan of the market and erecting structures.
It's not that we don't have original paper, we have. They say because the plan was tampered, that they want to put a new structure that will not be tampered.
I've been instructed now, as I'm living here now, I'm going to mark some designation for demolition, for access road into the local market.
The tragic incident consumed about 300 shops. To this end, the senator representing AMAC, Ireti Kingibe, was among the early sympathizers who has assured the people that their demands will be looked into. The fire happened around the shanty areas and did not affect the newly built shops in the market. Meanwhile, the market leadership has said compensations will duly be accorded. Serafina Okon-Umekwe, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu receives with deep sadness the news of the fire incidents which affected sections of Cairo markets in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. In a statement, President Tinubu extends his heartfelt sympathies to all the traders affected by these distressing incidents and assures them of his administration's full support. He also urges caution and adherence to essential safety measures to prevent fire outbreaks and other accidents. Stakeholders in the homegrown school feeding program from the 36 states and the FCT are in Abuja for a two-day workshop on domesticating the Ouder-Nepad continental school feeding and security guidelines for Nigerian states. Francis Form reports that the workshop, organized by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on School Feeding, seeks to align national school feeding programs with continental standards to enhance nutrition and education outcomes for children, as well as to achieve safer schools in Nigeria.
The workshop gathered stakeholders from various sectors, including education, health, agriculture, security, and social development, to discuss strategies for integrating continental guidelines into Nigeria's existing school feeding programs.
What has happened in the past is past. This is the renewed hope agenda, and we are following up on everything that we have to do. We're leaving no stones unturned. We're ensuring that there is accountability and transparency.
Participants engaged in comprehensive sessions covering a wide range of topics such as nutritional standards, food sourcing and preparation, monitoring and evaluation. Experts from Auda Nepat provided an insight into the guidelines and shared a success story from other African countries.
If the new government want to really implement the program, they have to put funding towards school feeding program implementation. So other countries are really like trailblazers. They're really far much advanced in the school feeding program.
The workshop also highlighted the importance of cross-sector collaboration and community participation.
The federal government has reiterated commitments in partnering with development partners to chart a climate-resilient path for the country's water, sanitation and hygiene sector. This was the decision reached at a 3-day national workshop convened to develop the climate risk analysis and action plan for the sector held in Abuja. Usman Zubairu brings us the details.
Climate change presents a significant threat to humanity, impacting positively to water service. This workshop on climate risk analysis and action plan aims to tackle the challenges ahead on providing comprehensive framework for assessing climate impact across the geopolitical zones.
In Nigeria today, majority of households are already faced with limited access to good quality wash services, with only 10% having access to basic wash services and about 23% lacking access basic water supply according to the 2021 Wash Norm report.
Increased frequency, duration and intensity of floods, especially in the south, has significant effects on water quality, sanitation and waste management, increasing the speed of waterborne diseases, especially among children.
UNICEF Wash Manager Charinjabi Tarawani explained that majority of households in the country already faced with challenges with limited access to quality water services, underscoring the timeless of collaborative effort to change the narrative. Willing messages were delivered by representatives of development partners, urging collective action to protect those most affected. In Abuja, Usman Zubairu, NTA News.
Now, the Cabinet Committee on the Control of Cholera Epidemic in Nigeria wants governments as the subnationals and health authorities to develop strong public health systems that can accurately track the spread of infectious diseases, especially the current cholera outbreak. Oluseyi Agbeabo reports that the inaugural meeting is in response to President Bola Tinubu's directive to the Federal Executive Council to set up a committee to oversee the Cholera Emergency Operations Center, coordinated by the National Center for Disease Control, NCDC.
The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC current statistics, puts the number of suspected cholera cases at 1,528 with 53 deaths across 31 states in 107 local government areas. What are some statistics there? The Federal Executive Council last meeting on 25th June 2024 constituted a cabinet committee on the control of cholera outbreak in Nigeria, with the coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Muhammad Ali Pate, as the chairman, and membership cutting across relevant ministries with the mandate to bring to an end the spread of cholera ravaging the country. The Nigerian CDC briefed the committee on the outbreak during the extensive deliberations under closed doors.
And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in his wisdom, set up early this week in the cabinet a subcommittee to look at it to accelerate Nigeria's efforts to contain the outbreak in a multi-sectoral way, to think together as to what do we do immediately to help numb this outbreak so that it doesn't get out of hand. and also begin to lay the foundation for preventing such occurrences of infectious disease outbreaks.
Being a waterborne disease, Nigerians are advised to take precautions.
It's important that everyone pays attention to sanitation, wash your hands, avoid contamination of water with fecal materials, and be sure you know the source of water that you drink.
The issue of the open defecation in our community is also a challenge. It's one of the causative agents of this waterborne disease, cholera. And we are campaigning that state governors, local government chieftains will also take this advocacy to the immediate campaigns.
They are assured that the presidential directive will be enthusiastically executed. In Abuja, Olusoye Adiagbo, NTA News.
You're watching Network News at 9. We pause now for some messages. The news continues shortly. Do stay with the NTA.
Successful entrepreneurship takes more than an innovative idea. It also requires the right mindset and skill set. Register today for the Progressive Enterprise Skills Development Training Program, a 5-day intensive small business boot camp for entrepreneurs and new business owners. Date, 8th to 12th July 2024. Venue, Lagos, Nigeria. Time, 9 a.m. daily. This program is free to attend, but registration is mandatory. Register on www.youngprogressives.ng/mybusinessandi for partnership and exhibition. Call Amaka on 0806-628-8642 or 0816-C765045 or email events@youngprogressives.ng.
Don't worry, we'll talk later, yeah?
Buddy,
how far?
Give me small spot, I beg. Make I play game, I beg.
Oh, yeah, now.
Thanks, G. Yo, Zifa don't come out.
Buddy, how far? I got you.
Buddy, I beg, make I connect, I beg. I need to stream.
Mojaba.
That was that now.
Enjoy 100% data bonus with night data. Dial *312# to enjoy.
Power your relentless ambition with ultra-high-speed data.
Glow Unlimited.
The Federal Ministry of Works announces the first session of the stakeholders' engagement on the proposed alignment for the construction of Section 3A in Cross River State, Section 3B and 4 in Akwa Ibom State of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, which have a total of 145 kilometers passing through Cross River and Akwa Ibom States, as well as the design of the Cross River 92-kilometer segment of the Calabar Southeast North Central Abuja Superhighway by African Trans-Sahara Highway. The event will hold on Saturday, 29th June at Ibom Hall, IBB Avenue, Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, and Sunday, 30th June 2024 at Transcorp Hotel, Calabar, Cross River State. Time, 12 noon each day. Invited guests include governors of concerned states, Senate and Federal House of Representatives Committee on Works, honorable ministers of line ministries, royal fathers and technocrats, Nigerian Communications Commission and major telecommunication service providers, other relevant stakeholders, and the media. We count on your cooperation in the renewed hope agenda of enhancing national connectivity and transportation flexibility for economic development. Yakubu Adam, Co-Formata, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Works, Announcer.
The Military Pension Board is pleased to announce the commencement of electronic verification exercise for military pensioners, which will take place from 1st July to 30 September 2024. Pensioners can carry out the verification from the comfort of their homes using a mobile device without the need to gather for physical verification. To carry out the verification, pensioners are required to download the Military Pensions Board electronic verification app named MPB Verification from the Google Play Store for Android phone users or the App Store for iPhone users. The application will take pensioners through a verification process using their National Identification Number NIN or Driver's License Number and Bank Verification Number BVN. For a successful verification, pensioners should ensure that the names on their BVN and NIN or driver's license are the same as those on the MPB database. The exercise will run for the period of 3 months only. Pensioners who are unable to complete their verification by 30 September 2024 would have their pensions suspended. Therefore, pensioners are advised to carry out their verification within the stipulated period. Management announcer.
With Betano and get a welcome bonus up to 200,000 naira. Betano, the official sponsor of UEFA Euro 2024.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
Thank you for saying. Building bridges and exploring new frontiers, the Chartered Institute of Forensics and Certified Fraud Investigators of Nigeria and the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities visited the Nigerian Television Authority NTA management to explore opportunities for growth and development. Gufan Shaji Gwanyi brings us the details.
The Chartered Institute of Forensics and Certified Fraud Investigators of Nigeria delegation, led by their pioneer president and chairman governing council, Dr. Gashin Baki, discussed potential partnerships with the management of the Nigerian Television Authority on forensic training and capacity building, aimed at enhancing the organization's forensic capabilities.
So we are a multidisciplinary and multi-sectorial professional body. We are specifically here, one, to introduce ourselves, and secondly, to also graciously request NTA to partner with us.
I want to formally, on behalf of the DG, intimate to you that NTA needs to collaborate with our institute on this lofty idea of fighting the canker of fraud and corruption in Nigeria, and also training of our staff to acquire requisite knowledge in these special areas. We will definitely enter into partnership with the institute.
Meanwhile, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Needs and Equal Opportunities, Muhammad Abba Isa, while appreciating the management of the Nigerian Television Authority for inclusive programming on persons with disabilities, also introduced the Beyond Disability Project, which is aimed at harnessing talents of persons with disabilities in Nigeria.
The Beyond Disability Project is an initiative of the presidency aimed at empowering persons with disability through talent development, education support program, and inclusive access and advocacy on the right and privilege of persons with disability in Nigeria.
This is honestly a plus, for this country. And it goes to show the passion with which Mr. President wants to implement his renewed hope agenda to encompass everybody in every sector, of our society without leaving anyone out.
It is hoped that these partnerships will not only enhance forensic capabilities, but also ensure that NTA's programming is inclusive and accessible to all Nigerians. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Area Council election for chairman and councillors was conducted in February 2022. And 2 weeks later, former President Buhari assented to the 2022 Electoral Act. The new act reviewed the tenure of the chairman and councillors from 3 to 4 years. Now, this amendment in the tenure has generated reactions from political parties, legal firms and civil society groups. And for the Inter-Party Advisory Council, there is need for clarification.
To the Commission for first-hand information about the status of the tenure of the elected officials in FCT, and that is why we are here.
In the exercise of its powers as the lawmaking body for the Federal Capital Territory, the National Assembly extended the tenure of the area councils from 3 to 4 years, thereby aligning it with executive and legislative elections nationwide. By the time the elected chairman and councillors were sworn in 4 months later, on 14th June 2022, they took their oath of allegiance and oath of office on the basis of the new Electoral Act, the Electoral Act 2022, which provides for a 4-year tenure. Consequently, their tenure expires in June 2026.
By provisions of the 2022 Electoral Act, the FCT Area Council elections will come up in 2026, and INEC says it's too early to release a timetable. Now, the All Progressives Congress in Plateau State is putting all measures in place to reconcile members of the party ahead of future elections. This is the position of members at a reconciliation meeting of the party attended by party leaders in Lafia, the Nasarawa State capital. Bilkisu Gurku has the story.
The meeting is to reconcile members of APC in Plateau State due to the fallout of the party during the 2023 general elections. Chairman, APC Plateau State Reconciliation Committee, Ahmed Idris Wase, enjoins party stakeholders to seek genuine reconciliation and work in unison. Other speakers say for APC to reclaim Plateau State, party members must close ranks and seek forgiveness to increase the party's chances in future elections.
And I presume that our meeting here is for the purpose of reinvigorating and producing once again a very viable APC on the platform.
Let us resolve our problem here so that when we live here, we will be better than we can be.
We will look at issues that has caused the disagreement that has taken place within our party.
Nasarawa State Governor, represented by the Deputy Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, expresses concern over the loss of APC in Plateau State governorship election.
And hope and pray that this meeting today will be able to come out and tell ourselves the truth and provide solutions and the best way to go.
A similar reconciliation meeting is expected to be replicated across the state. In Lafia, Bilkisu Umar Gurku, NTA News.
The NNPC Foundation has brought hope and comfort to the Special Needs Children's School in Ileife, Osun State, by donating mattresses and essential dental accessories. While handing over the items to the school, the Managing Director, NNPC Foundation, Mrs. Emanuela Arukwe, emphasized that the philanthropic gesture is part of the Foundation's commitment to supporting provision of quality education and healthcare in Nigeria. Femi Afariogun has the details.
The NNPC Foundation has the sole aim of carrying out corporate social responsibility on behalf of the NNPC Group. The foundation, a beacon of hope and support for many, is extending its kind gesture through the Nigerian Association of Pediatric Dentistry by giving the Special Needs Children's School Ileife 60 branded mattresses. The Managing Director of NNPC Foundation, Emanuela Arukwe, highlighted the organization's dedication to community service and its focus on supporting the special children to have a comfortable and healthy environment. The foundation is providing support across Nigeria to include education, healthcare, environment, access to energy, among others.
We are out to do such, replicate such in all the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. So right now we're a new entity, just a year old, but we're setting out programs so that we can touch lives everywhere and make life better for the teeming Nigerians.
In a sensitization health talk, the children were taught oral hygiene, while the foundation also gave dental accessories to the students free, while they also enjoyed checkup by the dentists.
We wanted to raise awareness for this school and for children all over the Federation to say, don't keep them at home. They deserve the same care and attention as the other children.
I'm very happy when they introduce this thing, they give it to us. I'm very happy, and God will support them.
Thank you. God bless you. As you are doing something to this school, God will do something in your life. You shall not lack.
NNPC Foundation is poised to improve the quality of life of Nigerians through community-oriented projects while also creating a sustainable impact for a better tomorrow. From Ileife, Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
In pursuance of implementing the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, Katsina State Government has hosted subnationals of the state in Abuja. Governor of Katsina State, Malam Diko Umar Rada, says the aim of the convergence is to chart a transformative course towards a prosperous, equitable and environmentally sustainable future for the state. Muplang Dakok reports.
Katsina State indices for 2019 showed that 73% of households in the state are poor, with 88% of the population among the poorest. This year, 88,421 of these households in many communities across the state have recorded improved economy. It is in a bid to step up this improvement that the state government brought together stakeholders in Abuja to brainstorm along with partners on how to follow up on the Sustainable Development Goals.
I think it is very apt to ensure that we follow up to the MDG goals so that we can achieve our sectoral development, to have better people, better society, better Katsina State before the end of our time.
Interactive sessions and presentations focused on key areas such as poverty alleviation, education, healthcare, gender equality, and digital transformation.
Every day, we are searching for more researches that have been carried out on Katsina State and populating our dashboard.
The master plan is to successfully implement, or at least begin to implement, 5 interventions for each of the priority goals by the end of the year. In Abuja, Muplang Dakok, NTA News.
A non-governmental organization, Development Research Project Center, is pushing for the domestication of the National Women Economic Empowerment Policy documents. The organization, during a citizen engagement program in Kaduna State, believes that integrating the policy at the state level will enhance the economic standards of women by providing them with better opportunities and resources to improve their livelihoods. Muhammad Umar Ajingi has the report.
Rebecca Ayuba, a street vendor in Kaduna, relies on selling corn to earn a living. Like many women, she faces economic challenges and struggles to achieve financial stability. Recognizing these challenges faced by women across the country, these stakeholders, with the support of an indigenous Nigerian non-governmental organization, Development Research Project Center, converge to advocate for the implementation of the Women's Economic Empowerment Policy document in Kaduna State.
The reason why we are organizing this workshop is to support the state government to domesticate the National Economic Empowerment Policy and ensure that no Nigerian woman is left behind.
The Federal Ministry of Women Affairs decided to come up with a policy to speak to women's economic empowerment, because the issue of empowerment has been confused with welfarism and tokenism.
When a woman becomes empowered, especially when she's empowered economically, you begin to see changes within the home. Over 15,000 women have been included financially. They own their accounts so that they can be financially independent, financially included. Kaduna State will be the first state who will launch and domesticate this policy.
The stakeholders are hoping that if all states in Nigeria domesticated the Economic Empowerment Policy document, women like Rebecca, who struggles to survive, will be financially stable. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Musa Abubakar is our guide on business news today. It's over to you, Musa.
Thank you, Lami. U.S. crude oil on Friday was headed for a third straight weekly gain as fears of war between Israel and Iran-backed militia Hezbollah grow. CNBC reports that West Texas Intermediate crude briefly hit an intraday high of $82.72 per barrel, the highest level for the U.S. benchmark since April 30th. Brent rose to $87.22 per barrel earlier in the session, the global benchmark's highest level in 2 months. Gold prices steadied on Friday and were headed for a third straight quarterly gain after a key U.S. inflation report came broadly in line with expectations, boosting hopes that the Federal Reserve may cut interest rates by September. Let's see other commodities. Let's head to the capital market, where it's a positive close for the stock market as NGX crosses 100,000 mark for the first time in 10 weeks. The all-share index gained 0.67% to end the session at 100,057.49 basis point. At the end of the last weekday of trading on NGX stock market, a total of 509 million shares in 7,945 deals corresponding to a market value of 9.8 billion naira were traded. Today's data shows 4% decline in volume, 6% decline in turnover, but 4% improvement in deals. Market capitalization advanced to 56.6 trillion naira. United Capital led the gainers with 9.96% share price appreciation, closing at 26 naira 50 kobo per share. Well, that's a quick look at business news. The news continues after the break.
LifeMate's 18th anniversary celebration. Wow! Get whopping discounts of up to 80% on our products. Yes. There's lots of amazing furniture to be won when you make any purchase. The more you buy, the more gifts you get. This offer lasts from June 1st to June 30th. Visit any of our showrooms or call 081 2000 6000 for more inquiries. Terms and conditions apply. LifeMate, your LifeMate forever.
To prevent diarrhea and other diseases, especially in children, wash your hands with soap under running water, particularly after using the toilet. After cleaning your baby's bum, before preparing your baby's food, and before and after feeding your baby. If your child has diarrhea, give zinc tablets once a day, plus ORS every 4 hours, or frequently in small sips from a cup, so that your child will replenish lost nutrients and regain strength. Also, visit the nearest health facility to get treatment for diarrhea. This message is from the ANRIN Project, Federal Ministry of Health.
TerraQ, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
Mama, Nami.
Hello, Tore, my pikin.
Where you dey? Na story I dey write about human trafficking.
Hello, Tore.
Where are you now? I'm in Niger, sir. I know exactly who is behind this. I be journalist.
you don't fall reach bottom of food chain, you guys adjust now.
Hi. You don't know when you have bacteria breath, and bacteria may be the cause of it. Don't let bacteria breath get all the attention. Use Close-Up with antibacterial zinc. Close-Up helps get rid of bacteria breath.
Did you know that a quarter of the world's deaths from malaria is in Nigeria? And the reason being a mosquito that spreads malaria, a disease that puts everyone's life in distress. We believe that protection and prevention is the best cure in the fight to end malaria. Mortein insecticide with its improved formulation kills 100% mosquitoes that spread malaria. So, spread the message of how we can fight to end malaria with Mortein. Mortein, our #1 choice.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. 1 cube, endless possibilities.
The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, urges ECOWAS defense ministers to work towards a safer and more secure region. This was at the ECOWAS Defense and Finance Ministers meeting in Abuja, where he expressed Nigeria's concern over the continued security challenge in the region. The minister wants his counterparts to work together with unity of purpose to achieve a safer and more secure ECOWAS region, stressing that the region's collective commitment is vital in crafting a sustainable financial model that will address the immediate security threats and lay the foundation for a stable region. The meeting is aimed at providing actionable recommendations for financing and equipping the ECOWAS counter-terrorism forces. Now, ministries, departments and agencies of governments have been urged to provide the expertise needed for adequate implementation of diplomatic agreements between Nigeria and other countries of the world in order to build a sustainable mutual socio-economic benefit. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, in a message through the Permanent Secretary, Cabinet Affairs Office of the SGF, Richard Filangwa, stated this at a workshop with the theme Nigeria and its bilateral relations. Kenneth Nanim was there.
Digging deep, identifying gaps and loopholes responsible for the setbacks being experienced in some of the bilateral agreements between Nigeria and other countries with a view to addressing them is the aim of this workshop. Inadequate monitoring and evaluation reports, non-functional feedback mechanisms for effective communication, as well as the lack of the needed coordination amongst ministries, departments and agencies of government are top on the list.
We must ensure that the document that we are presenting forward has all the necessary information that we need to collaborate with our international partners, and that is key.
It is expected that at the end of this workshop that you will come out with new techniques on how best to initiate the signing and implementation of all instruments by your MDAs for the benefit of our country.
For the partners and the resource persons, raising conversation around bridging unnecessary bureaucratic gaps is key to achieving the desired goal.
Aside that, they equally make recommendations to various governments to see that all the policies are sustainable.
The two-day workshop is expected to interrogate issues to improve Nigeria's bilateral relations for national development. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu congratulates the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed, on her 63rd birthday. The President eulogizes her for outstanding leadership qualities and contributions to nation building, noting that Amina Mohammed remains a leading voice in the advocacy for environment, education and sustainable development goals. He commends Mohammed for her tireless service to the nation and describes her as a fine example of Nigerian excellence and a worthy model for both men and women globally. The president praised God to bless her with long life and good health. President Bola Tinubu congratulates Ridwan Abdulrazak, a renewable energy expert, on winning the 2024 Princess Trust Global Sustainability Award. Ridwan was honored for his accomplishments in advancing solar energy system design and deployment in Nigeria, especially in off-grid rural communities. President Tinubu commends the Nigerian Green Solution Pace Setter, noting that Abdulrazak's achievement reinforces the long-held conviction that Nigeria's climate goals and his administration's green industrial vision are realizable with the active participation of the nation's gifted youths. The president affirms that Nigeria can lead Africa and even the rest of the world in science, technology and other spheres of human pursuits with the composite ingenuity of the youth. President Tinubu enjoins Nigerians not to relent in applying their talents in any given area, as his administration remains committed to providing support for citizens to realize their dreams. The Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, says it recorded a notable 51% reduction in road traffic crashes during the recently concluded Eid al-Kabir celebrations. Co-Marshal Shehu Mohammed shared this update while also highlighting the Corps' proactive measures and increased patrols over the festive period. Oyeyemi Ajayi has the story.
For the Commercial Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, the Eid al-Kabir Special Patrol was the first litmus test for him to prove his capacity as all eyes gazed at him. The results are speaking as the Corps records 39% reduction in deaths from the road traffic crashes compared to last year, aside 38% reduction in number of people involved in crashes and 35% reduction in people injured during the period under review. The commercial reveals that series of measures contributed to this success, which includes prompt response of officers on the field, aside enlightenment and prosecution of erring drivers through mobile calls.
We have resolved to continue to bridge the gap so that together we crash the crashes on the nation highway. We believe that our process shouldn't be the end, but the beginning. We intend to put more effort on the content so that when we get the content, we get the outcome.
The Corps plans to consolidate on the gains made so far to ensure further achievement, while revealing into soon commence withdrawal of driver's licenses from recalcitrant traffic offenders. Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
More stories on Network News after the next break. Do stay tuned.
Hello, Tore, my Peking. Where are you there? That's Tore at the right about human trafficking.
Hello, Tore. Where are you now?
I'm in Niger, sir. I know exactly who is behind this. I'm a journalist.
You don't fall reach bottom of food chain. You guys are just now.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
There is no war so hateful as a war between kin.
I mean to fight this war and win it.
I will not be thought weak. I wish to spill blood.
And no war so bloody as a war between dragons.
The lights are on and the stage is set for dreams to take flight. Who will be the next idol? Watch Nigerian Idol live performances every Sunday at 7 p.m. and you get to decide by voting for your favorite contestant. You can vote via website, mobile site, or by using the My DSTV or My GoTV app with no stress. To vote via website or mobile site, simply visit africamagic.tv/Nigerian Idol. Click on vote, register, and then enter your details and a password of your choice. It's easy and it's free. You can also get AWOOF votes for your favorite Nigerian Idol contestants. All you have to do is download the My DSTV or My GoTV app and you have more voting power at your fingertips. Visit the websites for more information. Voting opens on Sundays after the live shows and closes every Thursday at 8 p.m. Remember, vote for your favorites each week and you get to decide this year's Nigerian Idol.
Nigerian Idol Season 9 is proudly sponsored by Techno, Stop at Nothing, and Biggie for every moment.
The federal government of Nigeria warns vandals of national assets, electricity transmission towers, cables and other facilities to desist from this act of sabotage. Vandalism is a serious crime punishable under the law. Vandalizing electrical equipment will affect millions of Nigerians, including your loved ones. Remember that national assets belong to all of us, hence the need to protect them. Report all cases of suspicious movement around electrical facilities to security agencies. When you see something, say something. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation in collaboration with the National Counter-Terrorism Center, NCTC, Office of the National Security Advisor.
You're welcome back. EU leaders have struck a summit deal to return Ursula von der Leyen as head of the powerful European Commission, while tapping Estonia's Prime Minister as the bloc's top diplomat. Details of this and more on Global Update with Frama Pangi.
The late-night accord caps up the EU's top institutional jobs for the 5 years to come, with former Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa to head the European Council, bringing together member states. All three nominees hail from the centrist alliance that dominates the EU Parliament following elections this month. Despite gains by far-right, Italy's Giorgia Meloni put up public resistance to the top jobs deal. In another development, around 61 million Iranians are eligible to vote in the election, called after the death of ultra-conservative President Ebrahim Raisi in a helicopter crash last month. The snap election comes against a backdrop of heightened regional tensions over the Gaza war and discontent over the state of Iran's sanctions-hit economy. The leading contenders approved by the Guardian Council, which vets candidates, are Conservative Parliament Speaker Mohammed Bagher Ghalibaf, ultra-conservative former nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalili, and the sole reformist Masoud Pezeshkian. And in other news, the roof of a terminal building at New Delhi's International Airport partially collapsed in heavy rains early Friday, killing one person, rescuers said, months after refurbishment project inaugurated by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Images posted online showed vehicles crushed under giant steel girders at the departure forecourt of the airport's terminal. The downpours have brought the city to a standstill, with images shared by city's police showing personnel clearing trees and helping residents stuck in waterlogged areas. Frama Pangi, NTA News.
Sports update is next.
All is now set for Saturday's grand finale of the President Federations Cup at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Lagos. In the women's final, to be played by 1 p.m., Niger Rentals of Abuja will take on 8-time champions Rivers Angels of Port Harcourt, while in the men's final, it will be El Kanemi Warriors of Maiduguri, which will take on Abia Warriors of Umuahia by 4 p.m. Minister of Sports Development John Eno is expected to join other eminent personalities at the finals.
It started here in Lagos, and we wanted we said let us bring it back so that people of Lagos will watch the final of Federation Cup. Of course, we did it some years ago. It was the so-called big teams that have qualified. But this is a club that is coming from the NLL qualifying to play against Abia Warriors. It is going to be a big one, and I hope that Nigerians will come out and watch.
One of the clubs that just got promoted, the Kanemi Warriors, are in the finals of the President Federation Cup. And that shows you how the winning mentality that the teams in NLL are showing. And 5 of them were as in the quarterfinals. Then 2 played semi-finals, and today Academy are in the finals.
In volleyball, Nigeria has emerged champions of the 2024 Africa Under-19 Girls Beach Volleyball Championship, which ended Thursday in Morocco. The pair of Elizabeth Mba and Pamela Bawa defeated the Moroccan ladies 2-0 in the final to emerge champions. The team also qualified for the 2024 FIVB Under-19 Beach Volleyball Championship in China later in the year. In wrestling, ahead of the Olympic Games in Paris, the Nigerian Wrestling Federation says the foreign camping exercise for wrestlers preparing for the Olympic Games will begin on Monday in Germany. The wrestlers have been in camp for 2 weeks already, with the training going on as scheduled, with 5 Olympic-bound wrestlers and training partners. The Nigerian wrestling team won't start competing till August 5th and will likely join the Olympic Games village 4 days to the Olympic events. The sports update, Gift George, NTA News.
On a sad note, President Bola Tinubu condoles with the entire family of late Chief Hezekiah Oladipo Davis, as well as the Olule family and the Ogumade ruling house of Lagos over the passing of their matriarch, Mrs. Augusta Olujoke Davis. The president describes the departed matriarch, who is the mother of Mrs. Olufumilayo Goka, former deputy managing director of Ajipoil, as an illustrious daughter of the nation who lived a full life dedicated to the Almighty and to the service of her family and community. The president prays for the repose of the soul of the deceased and tells her family to take solace in her enduring legacies. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu extends his condolence to the governments and people of Katsina State over the passing of elder statesman and long-reigning Sir in Katsina, Alhaji Ahmadu Abdul Qadir, a renowned leader, politician and businessman. President Tinubu states that the contributions of the late Nofuntua to community building and developments will long be remembered. The president prays for Allah's mercy on the soul of the deceased and comforts for his family. And that does it on Network News for today. We thank you for watching. Do have a beautiful weekend. I am Lami Ali.